This is probably not going to be like a hard ranking tier list. It's more like vibes, early vibes. Goldlewis is one of the easiest characters that I've ever seen to put in S tier. High health, top tier neutral. You cannot keep this character out. Top 1 damage. And high health. Great reversal. Super POC and a normal super. Doesn't have a defense flaw in the same way because of 2K buff. 2S for whatever reason is 30 frames and it's absurdly disjointed. White Wild Assault. The best user White Wild Assault along with Pot. Yeah, just like the fucked up thing with Goldlewis is that his upswing now is just like absurdly broken now. It's +6. Yeah, Goldlewis is just fucking broken. He's just fucking broken. He's super easy to play in terms of game plan. Plays pretty similarly against every single character. Because he only really presses like 4 things in neutral, and it's like JD JD /2S and White Wall Assault. Yeah. Just very sad that he got this overbuffed. It's actually funny because Strive is the first game where I've ever seen downplay work this well. Usually you see like everyone just fucking whine all day on Twitter, hoping that, you know, they'll just randomly decide to listen and then not nerf their character. But I think Goldlewis players somehow downplayed so hard along with having mediocre results overall. Outside of like Shiryu, Darkrai, and Gobu, that somehow it just worked. Downplaying Goldlewis this hard actually worked. Like they just said that random matchups were like 8-2. I think I heard that they said Goldlewis has like still has 5 7-3 matchups. No, he's S tier. All right, let's talk about someone else. Elphelt. Elphelt's hard to place. I would say we're gonna talk ranges this tier list. Elphelt is either A or B. She's not S. She's either A or B. She's not C. She's not D. Elphelt mains are giant babies who downplay everything about her for whatever reason. I don't think I've even heard like anyone but Carrot say that her Rekka is broken. Like it's like that level of downplay with like they can't even admit the obviously broken things are broken. She's very, very, very easy. She's very, very, very dumb. She is surprisingly solid in neutral, I would say. Very fast, good jump normals. Like very good jump normals. Fireball's actually annoying to deal with, although you can call it out if they're being obvious with it. It's not that easy. Completely unreactable mix-ups. Looping offense, super easy. Neutral skip with like her butt slime that can be safe or plus, even though you can usually throw it. It's still very, very strong. Her like Pine Berry just lets her jump. Jump lows and jump normals. And yeah, she's like this perfect type of character where it's just like no matter how good you are, an Elphelt player can just guess right in neutral and then like instantly transition to full on RPS and just run RPS and then like win. I think her command grab is also very strong too. although they never use it. I do think it is. Her biggest flaw is honestly that she's not an amazing blue wall assault user. I think that's the biggest thing. I swear we need to normalize rating characters higher for being easy. Here's the thing, people just say that because I generally play hard characters that is me downplaying my own mains. But I have always said this, and I think it's very obvious. If you talk to most logical people, there's either two people. They're ignorant people that say that in practice, how hard a character does not matter. These people generally not play hard characters either. Or there's two people that realize that hard characters are way worse in tournament, but they want to make like a on paper tier list that doesn't exist, and a version of the game we will never play, where Happy Chaos players drop as few combos as like Kai players, right? Despite, like that, there's no opportunity cost to the fact that like you play harder character. You just assume that execution is no longer a skill and that they just always hit them. It's like in theory perfect hypothetical. It's Fantasyland. It's Fantasyland. Fantasyland tier lists are actually very common where they do not rate characters depending on how hard they are. Like that's not a negative. Because of that, most tier lists are completely useless. Because they just rate them on a version of the game we can't play. But it's always the funny thing about Fantasyland tier list is that it's always like only one or two aspects of Fantasyland. Like they'll say shit like, "Oh, Happy Chaos will never drop a combo," but they won't go to Fantasyland and say, "Oh, the opponent will just react to every 5D and react to every roll." And back to every steady. Like there's always like a very obvious bias in the Fantasyland, since there's just like picking and choosing what's hard and what's not, and what's viable and what's not viable. Anyway. Elphelt's very good. Either A or B. I, by the way, will rate characters depending on how good they are in actual tournaments in the current year soon. Not how good they will be in 6 months when there's a different patch. How good I believe they are now. Soul is S tier. Kai is S tier. I don't really think I need to talk about these. They were barely even nerfed. They were god tiers last patch. I think they're a bit closer to the average now, mostly due to Orange Wild Assault being slightly worse, and because Soul gets tiny nerfs. They're actually not significant at all, but they do exist. I would say the biggest thing is that Positive is just worse. Especially breaking the wall without keeping Oki is kind of bad, because the positive bonus goes away so fast that if you're just playing neutral after, your opponent can kind of run away and then negate a lot of the benefits from positive. Mei is A. Very strong still. Could be higher. There's just not very many very good Mei players. Don't let Mei players downplay. Slash is the only good Western Mei right now, and he is also a complete like Slash is not even a down player, but he takes whatever opinion he thinks he can get away with and goes with the absolute lowest tier for his character. So like if the public opinion is that she is 1st to 5th, he will go 5th. If someone asks what a matchup is, and they say, it might be 6 for my favor, it might be 6 for your favor, he'll say that person said it was 6 for their favor. Like he knows what he can get away with. It's very eloquent. No, but overall, like I think she's strong, but it's kind of hard to tell exactly how good she is because I don't think she has any horrible matchups, which is very good. So she might honestly be S. The more I think about it, because like none of her matchups are that bad, and she's still also very easy. Although she did become harder. I actually really like what they did with May's redesign. She's a lot less toxic. Yeah, she's A or S. She cannot be B. So again, that's her range. Axel is A to B. He could be S in some ways. I think in tournament there's an argument for him being S because the way Axel works is just like incredibly hard to fight in tournament. Incredibly hard to fight in tournament. He hard counters a lot of like pretty good characters. Like he beats Pot obviously super hard. He beats what's his face? He beats Nago. He beats Bedman. He beats Bridget really bad. He beats Testament really bad. He beats Faust really bad. He beats Asuka really bad. Probably still beats Ino, right? Yeah. So he has a lot of really good matchups, but he does also have some bad ones. The thing is that Axel mates, for whatever reason, are completely unable to have a secondary, to play a secondary at even the most remotely decent level. So we'll never really find out exactly how good he is as a tournament character until they learn to pick up a character as secondary. Because I think the best way to run Axel is to run Axel and then also run another character for the hard matchups, such as Chipp. Right? Chipp is S tier, I think. He could be A. He's a little bit hard to rank. He's not as solid as Kai and Goldlewis, but he's still probably S. I'm really tired. Potemkin is A or B. I'm sad to say that Potemkin is just fucking insane now. Like, Wild Assault into Kara Popbuster is an actual 50-50. Oh, what's up, Redcroft? My stick stopped working, so I quit out. Sorry about that. My P button just like stopped working. Yeah. The reason you know that Pod is at least high tier is simple. Pot mains who are the worst down players known to man, who are literal professional victims, who will pick a character they believe is bottom one and then continue to pick him, have complete dog shit secondaries that they never play in tournament. These people are professional victims. They pick the character they consider the worst so that they can blame their losses on him. This is some hyperbole, this is generalization, but overall, almost every pop main is some level of this, where they just pick the character so that they can whine. Right? These people say he's low mid now. Though the professional victims think he's low mid. Therefore, even though he could be B, I am putting him high. Because he has Wild Assault. His fucking new move is crazy. He gets converted from jabs now. His farce is still broken. Garuda is still brain dead. All right, Faust is probably B. He's actually a lot better than people think, and with Happy Chaos matchup getting a lot better, like Happy Chaos Faust was already a bit overrated, honestly. I mean, you can see that, like, Apology Man beat Yumi Show and stuff like that. I played that matchup a lot. Actually, I actually think that matchup was not that bad. That said, I did think Happy Chaos won, and that was one of Faust's worst matchups. And now, with how Happy Chaos can't really zone anymore, I could actually very well see that Happy Chaos loses to Faust. He could win still, but regardless, the matchup is a shit ton better. Like a shit ton. Absolute shit ton. Millia is either A or B. I'm going to put her here. Main problem with Millia has is not any matchups. It's literally just that she kind of swings her body at you. And that has inherent problems where other characters can just nuke you. I also think Goldlewis and Pot being strong, like any heavy being strong, is actually a big Millia nerf. Are Millia players that bad at downplaying? I feel like they're okay. They had LK who thought Millia went even with Soul 1.0. A general note about downplaying. What I don't get is when people think that you're just downplaying when you're swapping off the main that you used to play because you think they're bad. Like, when Zato mains say that he is D tier, sure, they are. Okay, Zato mains are fucking morons when it comes to tier list discussions. Like, they legitimately downplay this character like crazy. But he is probably actually the worst character in the game. And the thing is that I think there's a difference between talking overly negative about a character that you currently play and you have to deal with the problems of, and talking about a character that you're trying to swap off of, or you have swapped it from. This is what I'm saying, that I was obviously completely fucking right in saying that Millia was bottom tier patch 1. But when I swapped of Millia and picked Chipp instead, people said that Chipp was not better, he was in the same tier, and that I was just downplaying to make Millia seem better. Even though I completely dropped Millia and never played her after that. And Chipp was obviously like 5 tiers better. Ram is still S tier. She got no fucking nerfs for no reason. The only nerf you could argue is that positive nerf affects her somewhat, and that orange wild assault nerfs affect her somewhat, but way less, I would say, than the other orange wild assault users. So I probably think she's like top contender for top 1. Leo was hella downplayed last patch. Leo's actually fucked up good. Don't, and I say do not believe Leo players downplay. Do not. This character is fucked up. Leo went from being a low damage character in season 2, while still very strong. He was a low damage character with high health. In this patch, he is a average damage character because of simply one thing, orange wild assaults, and because of his buffs on the like pillar. DP character's just fucking broken in general. Super solid, super easy to play, has no hard things whatsoever. All his execution is like baby tier. Yeah. Good results, everything. Nago's still S tier. He got some decent nerfs in DP. Like, I'm a huge fan of the way they nerfed Nago. It's just a really dumb issue that he, for whatever reason, is a wild assault user and still has that shit. I am pissed that Soul, Ram, Nago, and Leo have been top tier since day 1 and stay top tier. They never get any fucking nerfs without massive buffs and compensation. And they're baby easy to play except for Soul. All their fucking mains, except like 2, fumble everything and then don't enter online tournaments so people don't think they're good. Alternative ramens usually like fold on the big stage. I think it's fine to have characters that never get nerfs out of top tier. It's just annoying when they nerf characters like that. Like, the problem is that if you're going to have a revolving door top tier, then you need to make sure that every character that has been top tier gets nerfed out of top tier. It's really toxic when characters like require a fuck ton of work, like Happy Chaos, Zato. Let's say fucking, Jacko was top tier or whatever. Like, any hard character or very unique character that is top tier and who then gets nerfed into low or mid or high, that's a way fucking bigger deal than if a character like Soul, Kai, Nago, Leo get nerfed. If those characters get nerfed, you can just move on to the next top tier because they all play pretty similarly. There's no fucking reason. When you hella nerf a character like Zato, it completely fucking destroys that player base. It legitimately makes you not ever want to pick up a hard character because you're putting in thousands of hours, like 4,000 hours into just learning Zato. And then they nerf that character who plays completely uniquely. And so it's way harder to transfer over. This is the actual reason that playing hard characters is so dog shit in modern fighting games. It's that because when they get nerfed, and they generally tend to be nerfed more for whatever reason, when they do get nerfed, it hits them like 10 times as hard. All right, Geo is probably A. I think the nerfs kind of matter for her. But this is more of a I don't think she was like super tippy topper last patch, and she did get significant nerfs. Anji's A or S. I'm very sad to say it. I fucking hate Anji. I fucking despise Anji's design. I hate Ino, Anji, Goldlewis design the most in this game, I think. Elphelt. Did I say Elphelt? Baiken too, actually. They just full screen RPS. Anji mains act like they have bad neutral when they have literally the strongest neutral ever. It's just risky. It's so fucking dumb. Now you can't even hit the spin in any meaningful way and actually punish him either. I think Ino's still very good. She does really suffer from the orange wild salt nerfs though. One of the biggest ones. Because her combos are never burst safe after orange wild salt. And it draining less burst is actually a massive deal. And the way positive got changed is also a pretty big Ino nerf. Oh, also, the nerf to MLA is actually really good. It was actually a genius nerf. They made it so you can react in 6P, her new move, which is a massive deal. Jacko is probably around here. It's kind of hard to judge her. She could be higher up, especially now that Happy Chaos is for her, so she doesn't have a really bad matchup. The defense nerf was pretty significant, though. But I still think defense is really fucked up. It's just worse. It was completely busted. I could be convinced to put her here. But I think Axel's simplicity does better in tournament. We're leaving Chaos later. Baiken, I heard, is also around here. Just unstable, but like fucked up robbery offense now. You can combo from throw with tether. The blue wild buffs are massive for Baiken. Massive, 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 massive. No. Here's the thing. There is RAM players in Japan. They even do pretty well. They're just insane down players. And they like them and Goldlewis players and Nago mates. It just works. I actually fucking hate it. Because downplaying your character clearly works. And being bad at the game. It doesn't work that much, but it does work sometimes. SQ definitely downplays RAM. Not always. I would say SQ is like normal. Some upplay, some downplay, you know? Do I have to repeat why Kai's S? Who beats Kai? Who beats Kai? Soul does not beat Kai. Next. All SQ says is reference fucking broken. I have talked to SQ a lot in private, and I have seen a lot of her streams. I do think RAM, she says RAM is broken, but she does also downplay some. No, Soul does not beat Kai. Even if he has a slight advantage, he's even-ish. Leo does not beat Kai. Let me cook. I don't know why people downplay their main so much. I genuinely don't. It's because every fucking Guilty Gear main, it's just like the fucking waifu pillow, man. No one picks a character because they're good and they like them. They just like act as if they only like it, like pick a character because like they're in love with their personality or because they jerk off to them, and it's just so fucking weird, man. Like, why can you never actually say the words "my character is top tier"? I'll play mine for so long. I have never seen you put a tier list, Sorry, to be clear. What do you think of Millia now? Yeah, I mean, I do think a lot of it stems from the fact that a lot of people are not ready to be disliked for playing a top tier. Here's the thing. This is what I learned, right? When I played Zato, Sato's about 7th best in the game. Maybe he was slightly better. Could also have been slightly worse. I got 3rd, and I lost to May, which is a fucking horrible matchup, and Happy Chaos, which was a bad matchup. That patch. People still acted like Zato was top tier. I, as someone who has played top tiers in this game, know and knew that he was not top tier. I still got shit as if I played a top tier because I performed so well that people thought he was top tier. I then win Evo next year with Happy Chaos, not getting 3rd. And now people say, well, the character is just insanely broken. He beats Nago despite me losing to Nago all the time. Right? You can't win. Someone will always discredit your wins, regardless of how good your character actually is. Right? So there's no fucking point in downplaying. There's no fucking point in doing it for your ego. The reality is that we all start with the same character selection. If you pick an S tier character and you win with them, even if it was literally picking the character and then pressing A and then you insta-win, you're still the better player because your opponents couldn't pick it. It really is that simple. I remove the S. I'll probably make another. I'll probably arrange this a little bit more. Testament, I think, is in B. Really buffed actually, and they're actually quite ignorant now. Get wall breaks from like Faust and stuff like that, but still just not like the biggest enforcing. Everyone sucks against them, including me. But you don't really have to be good against them before, and now I think you're gonna have to learn the matchup. Bridget is S. Almost S. Super solid. Has a DP. Somehow like the worst DP character. But has a DP. Great defense. Great jump outs. Great mash. Great backdash. Blue wall assault buffs are massive for Bridget. Bridget now on blue wall assaults does blue wall assault, sets up yo-yo, either throws you and then the yo-yo comes back and combos from the throw, or does close slash and then if you thought they were gonna throw, you fucking explode. If you block, then they still get a chance to roll into 50-50. Yeah, it's just very, very, very strong. The buffs to the normals are massive. Let me see if I can pull up the normals. Or the changes. Sometimes they like have notes on them. On Dusttube. Okay, here we go. This is the old hurt box. And this is the new one. And this like is not just for this button, but it's for like the entirety of the move. So there's another frame where the hitbox is like this, and then the hitbox is like that. Like it's a really big difference. It's a really, really big difference. Really big difference. I actually kind of want to investigate playing Bridget. Yeah, they're like actual disjointed normals now. 5H. This is current 5H. This is previous 5H. Like a really big difference. 6K now true block strings, which makes her a lot better from DP characters. And they just got bug fixes. Yeah, really, really strong character now. Could be S, honestly. Fringe S. All right, Sin is S tier. He got some changes, but it's mostly just Orange Wild Assault, and then the super got nerfed. Like every character got nerfed before. Run up deep is slightly worse. Like the Sin is fucked up. He's easily top tier. Easily top tier. Super fucking brain dead to play. Biggest DP. Shits out damage. The overhead is really fucking hard to react to, and it like goes over lows and throws. Yeah. I really wish he was not this good because he's just too easy. I mean, like, in a way, Kai's easy, but he still has to play fundamental gameplay. Then the game has changed since I last played. Gold's top 5. Gotta hop back in. Please don't. We don't need more Goldlewis players. Please quit. Please. All right. Bedman has white wall assault, so it's automatically high tier. The buffs to Bedman are actually really fucking big too. Like 6H hard knockdown is whatever, I think, for now, but JD being 17 frames is a massive buff. It makes it so that you can do like overhead mix much more consistently. Which one is this? Oh yeah, the spin is better, so you get close slash more often now. Like you get better Oki from his main ender, which is like such a big deal. Yeah. Overall, also really benefits from like positive change and stuff like that. Johnny's here. I think Johnny's probably the second worst character in the game. Johnny actually really negatively is affected by he's really negatively affected by the Orange Wild Assault nerfs. Like a massive, because that was his whole thing. The only thing that was really strong with Johnny last patch was any hit into Orange Wild Assault and then burst safe combo. But now the combo's not burst safe and he's not very good at baiting them. But yeah, still fine. Still has a lot of damage. Still snowballs really hard. The dash momentum thing is good, but like it's not as good as it could have been. He can't cancel at any point. It's just in the very beginning. Okay. I think this is about it, but let me, before I rank these characters, let me make like more tiers. Let me do like these tiers are all really close, by the way, to be clear. I actually think the game is very, very, very well balanced overall. The only reason why I think Zato's in the lowest tier is because he's hard. I will put it as D tier just because this is my hope that Arxis will see this and just buff him, you know? But I do legitimately think that the single worst character in this game to invest time into is Zato. The second worst character is probably Happy Chaos. Not because he's bad, but because he's very hard, and he's probably only going to get worse from here. And he's not top tier. That's spoilers. These characters are all way worse than Happy Chaos, right? But they're all also way fucking easier. And because of that, they're better investments. I think I'm going to do this. Something like that. These are just like basically as good, but like... They're basically as good, but just like slightly... Let's just do pluses. They're as good, just a little bit more inconsistent. I would put Happy Chaos here. If he was easier to play, he might be here. This is not hard ordered, by the way, but I'm basically just giving him my like overall thing. Wait. No, wait, this is S. I'll put him here. I think he's like A tier. But if he was easier to play, he'd probably be here. The problem is essentially that Happy Chaos used to be so broken and common that everyone knows the matchup, and he's hard to play. Hard characters can be fine to play when the opponent does not know the matchup. The matchup knowledge is a massive fucking factor, and until people catch up on that knowledge, those characters, especially characters like Happy Chaos, Asuka, Zato, they just become incredibly hard to fight. So he effectively gets better because of that. Now, again, I'm trying to swap off Happy Chaos. If I do not swap off Happy Chaos, at least partly, it is because I do not have time. Not because I think he is the best character. You may think this is bias. You may think this is downplay. I promise you, I would rather play Zato than Happy Chaos. If I'm downplaying anyone, it's Zato, which I am. He's actually supposed to be B, not D. Right? Asuka is really hard to rank. I think in strength, Asuka is here. If we're talking pure strength, your opponent knows the matchup perfectly. They can respond to all the cards. They can respond to everything. Right? In reality, he is the hardest matchup in the game to learn by far. And I think he's like here. That is my current opinion. He could be here. He could be here. But I think he's very likely S. Because of how hard he is to play against. If he did not have bad matchups like Nago, like Axel, he still has some annoying matchups like fucking Faust, Testament. Like, he has some weird, annoying matchups that you wouldn't expect him to be annoying. Bridget is kind of annoying, too. Then he would honestly be up here. The matchups are the only thing keeping Asuka in check, basically. And that's the thing that, like, previous top tiers just haven't had that. There's been a lot of really high power level characters, like Chipp in the past, like Soul in the past, Happy Chaos in the past, Ram in the past, Nago in the past. The thing is, as you may remember, every Nago player tried to downplay. Throughout heaven and earth, they just kept trying to downplay, man. And yet they were like, yeah, we lose to Testament. Yeah, we lose to Axel. Yeah, we lose to Faust. And then they would keep getting buffed, like the other characters, and Nago would keep getting nerfed, and they still would never lose to these characters because they always won and they fucking destroy them before. It's very accurate that Nago players basically rank. They rank matchups not based on who they actually lose to, but who they think this archetype should lose to. And that's the thing. He was just so overpowered and too well-rounded that he didn't actually struggle versus anyone. Even characters like Axel. I think Asuka is the hardest character so far to rate because he has the most underdeveloped stuff. Both like playing him and counterplay. I do think he became like in the previous patch, I would honestly have said that counterplaying cubes by hitting them was trolling, unless you had a lot of Asuka players to practice with, because it was just so hard to consistently beat them for a lot of characters that it was just really risky. Now I think it is fully, completely worth learning the matchup and learning how to hit the cubes. But don't tell anyone that. Let me see if there's anyone else I want to move. No, I think this looks pretty good. Again, a lot of these characters have ranges. I think Happy Chaos, the best I would put Happy Chaos is here, I think, or here. It's honestly possible that he would be here. But if you count, like, A+, top of A+ doesn't look that bad. But then you count the characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18. He's not... The fact that he can be 18 is crazy. And this is not just me, by the way. This is like every Chaos player I've talked to is very low on him. Some people put him like here, but I've seen no one put him S tier still. Even other people that used to hate playing against Chaos now say he's mid. Yeah, my problem is essentially, okay, the good thing about Happy Chaos is I don't think he hard loses to anyone outside of Ram, probably Geo, maybe Nago. But I do think he slight loses or goes even versus basically everyone on the cast. Oh, yeah. Elphelt should be up here. Sorry, I almost let Elphelt player get away with something. I'm genuine. Like, I'm so curious, though. Maybe I'm overrating the nerfs. But for me, a character being hard is a massive massive problem. Yeah, I fully admit that I could be wrong. I fully admit. But as you might agree, Tiger Pop, when you play other characters than Happy Chaos this patch, don't they feel stronger? Like that's basically what I'm saying. Like, yes, Happy Chaos is still good, and he's clearly not trash. But when you play other characters than Happy Chaos, they feel remarkably stronger with less effort. Which means he can't be that high. Because when I play Ram, or when I play Asuka, or Chipp, and someone would ask me point blank, is Chipp better than Leo? I don't fucking know. Right? I don't fucking know. But when I play Asuka and then play Chaos, I'm like, Asuka's better. When I play Asuka and then, when I play Chaos and then Chipp, I'm like, Chipp is better. All right. When I play like Bridget or like anyone when I just fucking around, like they're better. When I said these things, I said ass, by the way. I honestly might be up playing Asuka because I want to play him. I really don't want to pick Chipp, even though he feels like such an obvious pick. Chipp is like still rare. He's incredibly strong, and I've played him before, and he fits me. I just think there's a chance that I'd be happier getting second with Asuka than first with Chipp. And I think I'd be happier dead in a ditch having been an Asuka main than winning EVO as a Goldlewis. And I'd definitely be happier not playing Strive at all than being grouped together with Goldlewis down players. But yeah, I think the game is overall very balanced. The only problem I have with the game is that many of these characters should not be good. They should not be viable. Elphelt should be bad. Potemkin should be bad. Nago should be bad. It's the ultimate problem. It's absolutely the ultimate problem. Sonic should not be a viable character. Why shouldn't Sonic be viable? Do you not know? This is like the only notable thing to come out of the Ultimate community in the past 2 years. This is the only tech they've found. Up a stock, you know the vibes. The fact that he has a shadow shirt is so godlike. Testament minimum A+. Testament could be A+. A lot of these characters have ranges. I could see Testament as high as here, I would say. I just think that they're a bit too fair for how they play. Not fair, straightforward is what I would say. They're very straightforward, and I think being straightforward is a minus in this game. Being straightforward is literally Kai, Rams, and Soul's only issue, basically. When you watch Leo, and you watch, especially Asian players play against Leo, they are fucking so free to them. They're so free to Leo. Even though Leo's a standard character, just having that element of back turn and Swai, like, it does so much. Being a little unique is a massive deal. Massive deal.